I've got the background layer, then I have the photo layer. I'm going to lower the opacity a little bit so that I can see my line work a little better. Oops, I'm on the wrong one. Get on the photo, lower it a little bit, around 85, and then I'm going to lock my photo layer so that I don't accidentally draw on it. That is crucial. Get on my line work layer, get my paintbrush. I have black paint up. I need a hard brush. Right now it's a soft, so I'm going to bring it up, the hardness. And I'm going to, I could also go to general brushes here and make sure that I click on that hard brush. Click off, put my opacity at 100%, and then I can zoom in and start to draw. And it's just as important to which lines you choose to draw as it is the quality of your lines. So a lot of people are saying, well, my line work's so shaky. It's just as important to choose the correct lines. Now, Ethan's eyes are kind of squinty in this shot, so it's not the greatest for a demo, but I'm going to have to deal with it. Zoom in even more so that you can see what I'm doing. So this upper lash line is the most important line of the eyes, and I always start at the eyes and work my way out. So I get in the corner of the upper lash line, and there we go with the big huge spot. Oh, I don't have my pressure sensitivity on, so let me test my brush first and go down even more in size. Not really sure why, but, and then I go along this upper lash line. Okay, I'm going to get the tear duct in here. I try to make that look curved. I'm going to Command Z and do that again. And I also try and get a curve on the edge of the irises here to make it look like that roundness of the iris. And then I'm going to just fill in a solid pupil here. I can add that highlight later. And then I'm going to get a little bit of detail here in the fold of the eyelid. And this is a defined line that I'm following there. Okay, I'm going to come down here and get this line too. He's kind of got smile lines there. I'm going to put a little bit of line work here, but I'm not going to go all the way around with a hard line because it's not that noticeable. The eyebrows, you don't want to do a big shape. You want to put some of the directional lines here. I can kind of see, and then along the bottom I see some lines, and I'm going to come down here, and then along the top. He's very fair skinned, so it does not show up that much. I'm going to get some hard lines here. I'm going to go along these edges of the nostrils. So this is the hard edge, this is shadow. So and right here, hard defined line. Then I get the flare of the nostrils over here. Coming down, I can see a little bit of this line defining the bridge of the nose. And come up here. And then I'm going to go to the opening of the mouth. This is the most important line of the mouth and really almost of the face too. So I'm going to come through here, follow that, and try to get that defined nicely. There we go. The upper lip doesn't show that. It's not that harshly defined, so I'm just going to put some light line work that shows a little bit of the lips lines. That's going to need some cleaning up later, and I'm going to come in and define this lower lip. You see a little bit of the shadow here at the bottom, but that's going to be enough for that. And then the shadow of the chin. The hair is in front of the face up along the top. So I need to close this. And I'm going to get some of that hair in there first. So the hair, I go with some of the directional lines, and I get what falls over the face first. And you'll see some dark lines here. So I just come along here. Get a few of those in here, a little bit of this out here. Again, I'm just getting the feel of the lines, but I don't just put random lines in. I look at some of these dark lines that show up. And I'm going to come up and get the top. So I come out. More directional lines. So in the hair, I think of it as showing the direction that the hair is laying and the basic shape that the hair makes. You get a little bit off, no big deal. And some up here. In the hair is usually where I have some fun with using the pen to get a little bit of loose feel and flowing lines, because when you're tracing the features, you tend to press harder to get it more accurate. I'm going to do half of the face. I'm going to show some common mistakes with. So I'm going to come down here and get the shape of the lower part of the face now. And up here, the hair's falling across the front of the face. But down here, I need to define the shape of the face. And I'm going to come along here and get this cheek, the line of the cheek, and then the flatness of the chin through here, and bring it up to meet. And then I'll get my eraser to kind of clean that up later. This line's kind of defined for his smile, so I might put that in there. The ear falls behind the front of the face, so you want to make sure that you get this line of the edge of the face here, and then draw the ear in. And there's angles to that ear, you want to make sure you get that. Do this. I sometimes will get this line in here, even though his is very soft and not that defined. So now I've got most of the face here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit so that you can see more. And I'm going to come down here and get the neck. And then I bring the clothes in front of the neck and get nice curves here so that it shows them wrapping around. Come in here for the jacket. And I find these defining wrinkles that layer through here. It's kind of a fine line of when you get too many and when you don't get enough. But I try to get the main defining lines that give you the feel of the fabric and how it's laying across the shoulders here. Bring that hood along here. And then I'm going to get the strings here. Let's move it up. Got to go all the way to the bottom. And some of these other defining wrinkles. Okay, let's get the arm over here. I'm going to go ahead and get the outside of the arm. Again, I try to get the angles right as close as I can. This has to run all the way down here. I could clean that up a little bit. I'll go back and clean it up later. This is going to be a light line across here, and then along here. Okay, and then I would go in and get the design drawn much more carefully. I'm just going to indicate a little bit of it to give you the idea, but this is where it would take some time and I would need to be real careful. So now when I turn off, I'm going to line this up here, go smaller, and then turn off my photo to see what I have. So get my layers back on, turn off the photo. So that looks pretty good. Needs a little bit of cleanup. So on the other side, I'm going to show you some big mistakes that people make. So number one, in these eyes, you tend to come in and draw what you think you see. You think you see them, the corners of the eye meeting. So I get a lot of students that come in here, they get that corner or somewhere in that vicinity, and they come in and they do something like this. They want to draw that opening of the eye, and then they just come in, get something along those lines, something like that. Sometimes they'll do this, but whether they follow the edge or not depends. And then maybe they do this, they start doing every line, drawing the whole shape of the nose. I see a lot of circles filled in here, a lot of this, and a lot of this. And then it's done really fast where they don't follow even what the shape looks like. Need to get the eraser to show a big mouth issue. So a lot of times I get mouth, they'll just draw these lips in there, not paying any attention really to whether they're light or dark or defined. I even get a lot of this kind of thing. I get a lot of drawing of the shape of the face. Let me go a little smaller here. So we get a lot of this kind of thing. And then I get a lot of this. And I ask, why did you do that? And they said, well, I didn't know how to draw them. Get curly hair, and it's like, well, draw what you see. You're drawing what you see. I'm actually following lines here. The most defined lines. I'm not just drawing random hair, you know. I see sometimes students will come and do a big outline all around the hair, then down around the ears, down around the neck. Oh, sometimes they'll go like this and just do a whole outside line. You don't get that sense of shape unless you think of these separate shapes and what's in front of something else. Okay, so let's turn off the light, or turn off the photo for this, and we'll take a look at which side looks better. So, yeah, it's all about choosing the right lines to draw. Hopefully this helps give you a little bit of an idea of what to do. Again, I don't make it up. I'm actually looking at some of the darkest lines that define the shape. Okay, I'll have more on color. Hopefully this helps you as you do your line work.